I'm Rashad Younger. I'm the second vice president with the NAACP State Conference, which covers Colorado, Montana, and Wyoming. We're gathered here today because, unfortunately, there's been unnecessary deaths in regards to Jefferson County holding custody of inmates, not providing them health care when it's necessary. And so that is something that the NAACP stands for. We don't care if you're in jail or in prison, you still have the right to be able to make sure that you're getting the health care that you need. So we actually have our vice president for our legal redress committee, Anita Springsteen. She's going to speak about the issue. She's going to give you details and also just a quick summary in regards to what we're doing on the NAACP side. So without further ado, our vice president, Anita Springsteen.
Thank you, everybody, for being here today. This is a very important day because today we are saying enough. My name is Anita Springsteen, ANITA-SPRINGSTEEN. My name is Anita Springsteen. I am a civil rights attorney, vice chair of legal redress for Rocky Mountain NAACP, and a former Lakewood City Councilor, which means that I know very well what the flaws of this county, Jefferson County, actually are. First, I'd like to read a statement of Portia Prescott, who is the president of Rocky Mountain NAACP, which includes Colorado, Montana, and Wyoming. She couldn't be here today because she's traveling for work, but she wanted me to read this statement on her behalf. So I'm going to start with her statement and then go to mine. She says, "With great sadness we gather here today, and with heavy hearts and an unwavering commitment to justice. No one, absolutely no one, should lose their life while in custody. Yet across our nation, 68% of incarcerated individuals with medical conditions are being denied the care they so desperately need in local jails. Today, we stand united in our call for a thorough and transparent investigation of the Jefferson County Jail, following the deeply troubling reports of multiple inmate deaths within the past 8 months to 2 years due to various forms of mistreatment. This investigation must prioritize an honest evaluation of the inmates' living conditions. We must ask ourselves, is this facility failing in its fundamental duty to protect those under its care from violence and neglect? We need answers and we demand accountability. We are particularly concerned about the health care being provided, or rather not provided, within these walls behind me. It is essential that the Jefferson County Jail is held accountable for ensuring that all inmates receive the medical treatment they need, including critical insulin care for those with diabetes. The state of Colorado, Jefferson County District Attorney Alexis King, and the Jefferson County Sheriff Marinelli must all stand firmly committed to safeguarding the human rights of every individual in their custody. This means no one should be subjected to excessive force, violent conditions, inadequate medical care, and inadequate mental health care treatment, or any other dangerous conditions while incarcerated. Should this investigation uncover any mistreatment, we call upon the Colorado Attorney General's office to take decisive action. Human rights must be upheld within every correctional facility in our state. Today, you will keep hearing these names. Doreen Stengel died on August 4th, 2024, in this jail after just 1 day in custody on a traffic warrant. Ashley Raisbeck died December 16th, 2023 in this jail after only 3 days in custody for a minor false reporting charge. Courtney Tinker died in custody in this jail March 29th, 2024 after only 4 days in custody on a failure to appear warrant. These names, these lives are not just statistics. They are reminders of a system that is failing its most vulnerable, and it's happening right here in Colorado. Today, we also highlight the urgent need for reform in the health care provided to inmates. In May of this year, U.S. District Court Judge Charlotte N. Sweeney denied Jefferson County's motion to dismiss a lawsuit related to the tragic 2021 death of Abby Angelo. The court's decision understood the responsibility of Sheriff Reggie Marinelli and the county to provide adequate medical care to those in custody. The ruling was clear. Any further incidents would be a sign of systemic issues that we must confront and resolve. The deaths we mourn today, the suffering we witness are not isolated events. They are part of a deeply alarming pattern that demands our immediate attention. We stand here today to demand action. We call for urgent meetings at both the state and county levels to address these critical concerns. A traffic warrant, a minor offense, and any offense should never become a death sentence in Jefferson County. Please stand with Rocky Mountain NAACP, Colorado, Montana, Wyoming State Conference and help us get some answers. Respectfully, Portia Prescott. I'm now going to read my statement. As a civil rights attorney, my name is Anita Springsteen. As a civil rights attorney, I represent the families of Ashley Raisbeck and Doreen Stengel, who died in this jail behind us this year. You will see Jamie, Ashley's mother, right behind me, and Felicia, Doreen's daughter, right behind me. Ashley died December 16th, 2023. Doreen died just last week on August 4th, 2024. Courtney Tinker died on March 29th of this year, in between these two deaths. And all three deaths were very similar. They should not have died. On December 16th, Ashley had only been in jail 3 days for minor charges, including giving a false name. She was on the so-called detox protocol because she struggled with addiction following the violent murder of her little brother. And this is important because there are reasons that people struggle with addiction, because they are trying to deal with trauma in their lives. That does not mean that they are no longer people. Ashley died of dehydration because a nurse decided to walk away for an hour after she discovered that Ashley had no blood pressure, was dehydrated, and needed IV fluids. When there's not a blood pressure, that is a cardiac event. That is a call to 911 immediately. You do not walk away for an hour when somebody has no blood pressure. On August 4th, just last week, Doreen Stengel was sitting quietly on an embankment. Doreen Stengel was sitting quietly on an embankment on West Colfax with her adult son. She was frail, had been fighting addiction for a long time, killing pain as a victim of domestic violence. She was roughed up by police for having paraphernalia and arrested on an old traffic warrant. Although details are still emerging, by all accounts, Doreen was screaming for water and for help while in booking in the jail. Although she lived through a winter on the streets, homeless, that's how tough she was. She barely made it a day in this jail, Jefferson County Jail. One day, and they killed her. These women were not trash to be thrown away. They were human beings. They had value. They had people who loved them. They had hope. Their families had hope that they would get better, and they could have gotten better. This jail and this sheriff and this county took away their hope forever. But somewhere along the way, the people who run this jail made a decision that it is okay to treat human beings worse than you would an animal. As if addiction makes you subhuman. As if petty offenses and traffic warrants and homelessness make you a horrible criminal. Which person standing here would not give a dog a bowl of water? When did it become okay to write people off as if they were better off dead? Judge Warner in Adams County sentenced paramedic Peter Chechuniak to 5 years in prison after the death of Elijah McClain for criminally negligent homicide and second-degree assault. This means that a jury in Colorado and the judiciary in Colorado have set forth the direction that medical negligence is not just a civil matter, it can be a serious criminal matter. If a nurse and a deputy walk away from a woman with no blood pressure who is in their care, as they did with Ashley Raisbeck, how is that not a crime? If a woman screaming for water is left in a cell in booking to die, how is that not a crime? Not everyone dies in the jail. Some just sit there and suffer without proper medical care. Matt Esses-Blatnick is a type 1 diabetic who went to the hospital just last night and was diagnosed with pneumonia. He had an insulin pump and continuous glucose monitor for 20 years of his life until he came here. He is on dialysis because the pump was taken away for his weekend stay here a year ago. And now he's serving a year on a misdemeanor sentence. And he feels he is close to death every single day. His blood glucose level has been fluctuating wildly, going dangerously high and low to the point that he's losing his eyesight and the remaining kidney function that is left. He was taken off the list to receive a kidney transplant because of his levels. A misdemeanor should not be a death sentence. This is not okay. Another client of mine broke his foot when the cover of an industrial dishwasher fell on it and shattered his bones. He never got proper medical care and was forced to continue working 2 days later on broken bones. He's never walked the same since. So many people have come to me with stories of faulty medical care in this facility. It's not funny. I recently received a list of 100 inmates who had suffered medical negligence in one form or another, but every inmate I talked to, even outside of that list, has a story. One had a tooth extracted, but half got left in. Now he's going to have it cut out. Another was weaned cold turkey from prescription drugs she had been on for 10 years. Now she has damage to her vision and to her hearing. Even short stays here are met with indifference and lack of compassion. I know of one inmate who screamed for days just to have a blanket. The simplest thing, denying basic needs and warmth and water, is simply inhumane. Every inmate I've talked to says Jeffco jail is the worst in Colorado. Many of them have been to other jails in the metro area or around Colorado, and they say this is the torture chamber. Why? We are in one of the wealthiest counties in the metro area. Why can't we do better? It's against the Geneva Convention. It's against basic human rights. People are being completely isolated from everyone here. The sheriff does not even bring inmates over to the court when they have a hearing. They are taken to a room with black mold where they can barely hear the proceedings and nobody can really get eyes on them. And they are made to take pleas when they have not even seen their attorney in person. Family cannot communicate except over video conferencing that is inadequate, and you cannot hear your family member. The suffering is hidden from the DAs, from the public defenders, from the judges, and from family and friends. To totally isolate people this way is being done in order to hide the bad medical care that people are receiving. This has to stop. I'm told the jail is mostly filled with people detoxing from fentanyl now, but there is no real detox protocol. When people detox, they lose fluids from vomiting and such. Many have bodies that cannot tolerate cold turkey denial of the drugs without real medical care and hydration. They need a detox facility with round-the-clock medical care, not a cold cell with a culture that thinks they are scum and that the world will not miss them. I'm here to say, we miss them. These people miss them. These families, these friends miss them. Human suffering, addiction, and homelessness are not disposable. Human suffering, addiction, and homelessness are not disposable. And even those with more serious criminal records deserve to be treated with dignity and humanity. The compassion has left the building, and we want to bring it back. I asked the Jefferson County attorney for a meeting with Sheriff Marinelli, and she said, no way. Why? I have information to share from 100 inmates I have spoken with who have told me what the real conditions are here. She is our elected official. It is her duty to meet with me, to meet with us, our civil rights organization of 114 years, and to discuss why civil rights are being regularly violated here in this jail. As you know, Portia Prescott, president of Rocky Mountain NAACP, is talking to our U.S. senators about this, is talking to our Attorney General, and she will be asking for those meetings with District Attorney Alexis King, who I want to mention, her office holds people in this jail on cash-only bonds that are too high for them to make. She regularly punishes people in poverty, contrary to her claims of being a progressive DA. That is not progressive, to punish people who are homeless, who are addicts, who have no money to bond out, who are held here to support a budget when they don't belong here. Sheriff Marinelli, who knows her obligations to these people and continues to violate them on a daily basis, also needs to sit down with us. We need a tour of the facility to know what is really going wrong. My understanding is that in booking, there are not even sinks or telephones that work. And that is where I think Doreen Stengel may have died. Judges in Jefferson County need to know what's really going on, and that when they render a sentence, that people are being denied medical care, and that a simple misdemeanor sentence or petty offense sentence can result in death. It's really a death sentence. In Ashley Raisbeck's case, in Doreen Stengel's case, in Courtney Tinker's case, these minor petty violations they were picked up on were a death sentence. This is our call to action. Jefferson County has a lot of dirty little secrets. And we as a community should not tolerate it anymore. It could be your child, it could be your mother, it could be your sibling next time who comes into this jail, picked up on a minor warrant, who never leaves alive. It could be any one of us that has this happen to our family. And we cannot tolerate it anymore. Enough. Enough of the killing, enough of the mistreatment. Thank you for being here today.
Now we'll have a word from our Criminal Justice Chair, Josh Jackson, from State Conference NAACP.
Hello. It's good to see everybody here, even though it's under such terrible circumstances. Again, my name is Joshua Jackson. I'm with the Rocky Mountain NAACP, that is Colorado, Wyoming, and Montana State Conference. You know, this is an election year. We're in a very partisan time. There's a lot of different thoughts about society now and about the way that things should go. There are a lot of folks out here that are very much tired of crime, very much tired of vagrants, very much tired of nuisances in and around where they live. And I would like to speak directly to those people first. The first thing I would like to say is all of us make mistakes. Everyone here makes mistakes. Everyone here has issues, has challenges in their life personally, professionally, maybe in their marriage or in their home. Everyone here has something that they are dealing with and has made a mistake at some point in some time. What I think we all can agree on is redemption and the story of redemption. It is such a great thing to watch someone who you know struggle and watch them overcome and grow and mature and learn themselves and become a better person, and in a lot of cases add value to this community by helping other people grow and learn through their experiences as well. I think we also can agree that none of this is worth a death sentence. None of this is worth a death sentence. The thing that struck me the most about these cases was the fact that I don't believe in this many coincidences. That is not a coincidence. That means something is wrong. The second thing that struck me the hardest was the petty nature of the accusations of all the deceased. These folks were here for some of the a traffic stop. If the county of Jefferson is going to be taking possession and custody of people's person, they are responsible for that person's health care. They are responsible to make sure that that person is alive and well and released. They get the opportunity to defend themselves in court, and they get the opportunity to redeem themselves and to grow. What we're seeing here is gross negligence. At the state conference level, we are demanding that the district attorney of Jefferson County, along with the sheriff, sit down with us for a meeting so we can discuss the information that we have and ways that we can go about rectifying this situation. We are demanding this sit down. We are demanding a walk through this jail. We would like to see this facility, and we would like to see the detox facilities that they've been using up to this point. We need to see what's going on here first. This does not have to be an accusatory back and forth war. It would much rather be we have common ground, and the common ground is we don't want to see people coming to Jefferson County and dying for petty citations and charges. Thank you all for coming.
Now I would like to introduce a couple of the family members who have lost people at this jail or who have people in the jail that they're concerned about right now. Jamie Raisbeck is Ashley Raisbeck's mother. Ashley was 27 years old when she died in December in this jail. Jamie, if you would step forward.
Hi, thank you for coming. I think the biggest problem here is nobody's educated. What do they know in helping and detoxing people? They say they have a system here that's not working. My daughter, so beautiful, was smart. She was a wrestler. She was in cheerleading. She was suffering the loss of my son, but she didn't deserve to die. When I first found out she came here, I was relieved because I thought maybe I could get my daughter the help she needed. I didn't know it was going to be a second nightmare I'm living again. I'm going to make it my mission for my daughter that we're going to change Jefferson County because this is not okay. She used her sister's name. That's why she was in here. I'm going to do everything I can with Anita and the other families to make change in this jail. It's not okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Felicia Paz will speak about her mother, Doreen Stengel, who just died in the jail last week. Her brothers are here with her, Isaac and Jacob. It's an enormous loss for this family.
Bear with me. A week ago today, we found out that our mom died here in Jefferson County Jail. She was my best friend, and she wasn't ready to give up, and I have so many letters to prove it. She did not deserve to die the way she did, and we're here to make sure there's justice. According to the National Library of Medicine, 1.4 per 1,000 people die incarcerated every year. In less than a year, Jefferson County has had almost 3 times the national average. We refuse to let our mom be just another number, and we don't want this to happen to another family. Thank you for being here for us today.
I'm going to have
Um,
Jacob, who is
Isaac,
Isaac, sorry. I'm going to have Isaac, who is Durain's son, say something.
I've spent a lot of time struggling to get out of this jail system. I've seen the negligence firsthand so many times with so many people. I was looking through articles today about one from 2016, one from a last name Tinker, Ashley Raisback, which I knew personally, my mother, which I was arrested with. And as much as people may think it is understanding, it is not hard to know that people who are detoxing need medical care. If you look it up online, it says when you detox, you need 24 hours medical supervision. It's just a common fact. You need to be supervised immediately. My mother was not even checked up on, from what we know, for 24 hours at least, because they thought they were considering her defiant. She got picked up on a traffic ticket and is gone now. I bought her a smothered burrito, and they woke me up in the middle of the night because I was here on outstanding warrants, and they said my mother was dead. And there's no reason for that. This jail does a lot of wrong stuff, but this one is by far the most effective and impactful to the families, for the people who are affected. That's all I gotta say.
Now I'd like to have Ellen Esses speak about her son, Matt Esses Blatnick, who is currently in the jail with type 1 diabetes and was at the hospital with pneumonia last night.
Hi everyone, thanks for being here. My name is Ellen Esses. I'm just going to read a letter that I sent to both county attorneys, Kumkowski and Ms. Sorrell, on August 5th. And I sent them this email regarding his medical care. He's been a type 1 diabetic since he's 9 years old. At the age of about 19 or 20, he was placed on an insulin pump which regulates his blood glucose levels, much like a healthy pancreas regulates ours with that don't have diabetes. On March 9, 2024, when incarcerated in Jefferson County Detention Center, the judge and the DA assured us that his medical appointments and care would not be interrupted, and he would be taken to all of his medical appointments for continuation of care. They take him to dialysis 3 times a week, 4 hours a time, but his blood glucose levels have been totally out of control after not receiving proper amounts of insulin. His insulin pump was removed when he was booked in. I've reviewed all of the numbers, all of his medical records. The numbers are at a range 40 to 45% of the time. They range from 41 to up to 600 and plus. Those are seriously high. I understand that they have a protocol here, but it's not treating my son. They give him long-acting insulin and not short-acting to cover his meals, which raises his blood level, which affects his eyesight, his circulation, his extremities, and cause amputation from those body parts affected. I'm not a medical professional, just a mother dealing with my son's condition for 33 years. My son was sentenced and reported to serve his sentence after 2 failed appeals. But the sentence should not be a death sentence. It's a misdemeanor. I told these attorneys that I'm reaching out for several reasons: to allow my son to have his insulin pump while he's completing his sentence, to physically see his endocrinologist or another endocrinologist at the detention center because they don't have eyes on him, to have them prescribe a specific protocol to meet his specific needs, and not to be put in medical isolation as a punishment for him complaining about how he feels, and us complaining because we were calling and asking him why are they treating him like this, and they put him in the medical SHU the first week he was incarcerated. They also put him in the SHU last week, and he's now contracted pneumonia, and we don't know where he got it from, but I could tell you he's freezing down there, and it's filthy conditions. I also have concerns that they're not following the American Diabetes Associates for inmates with type 1 diabetes. they recommend that they stay on their insulin pump. But here, they're telling him if he's going to be on his insulin pump, that he's going to be isolated in the medical shoe. So they're punishing him. And it's very clear that the ADA states that they should not result in any patient being held in a more restrictive setting than otherwise would be appropriate. And I quote that. I look forward to hearing back from you as soon as possible. Matt had a blood sugar level a week ago Saturday at 46 and was starting to have a seizure, and one of the other inmates had to get him help. This roller coaster is not sustainable for my son, and every day I am afraid that I'm going to get a call that he's no longer with us for a misdemeanor, and he's sentenced for a year here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being here. And I'm sorry for everyone that lost their parents.
I would just mention a couple of things. A lot of people in this jail are people of color, even though it's a predominantly white county. And diabetes, of course, affects people of color more often. This is just one story of an inmate, but almost many of the inmates here, and you can hear them banging on their windows upstairs, many of them experience this same kind of problem. Katie Kraft wants to say something as well about Matt.
Hi, I'm Katie Schneider. I'm Matt's girlfriend. Hi, Matt. It's gotta be him, right? He came in on May 9th, the day before my birthday. And we've been, talking on the phone ever since then. Last night when he went to the hospital, they shut down the jail, wouldn't give me any information. I found out where he was, called back a couple hours later to find out if he was alive, if he was back, and they would not give me the information. Didn't sleep last night because I didn't know if he was alive at this point. He has 3 girls, and he's a father, he pays child support, he works, and he deserves justice. He shouldn't have to be in this jail on a misdemeanor, and I hope with Anita's help we can get him a reconsideration and get him out of there. Thank you.
I'd also like to mention that as people are researching how many deaths there have been in the jail, I don't have an exact number yet, in part because I think that they're concealed. But we know of at least 22 in the last couple of years. That's too much. That's unacceptable. Are there any other family members who... I think that this was a very important press conference today. We were able to address what our issues are, and now it's time for the officials in this county to listen to us. Thank you for being here today. We appreciate it.